I'm Jose de Barros, and this is QNet News.
Vandals strike memorial. Just days after the Afghanistan Repatriation Memorial is unveiled, vandals damage it.
Well, it's disgusting, and I think anybody that does this kind of stuff doesn't have much of a conscience.
Rally for rights. Teachers in the Quinte region are still angry over a new law limiting their wages and strike rights.
The bill has poisoned the education environment.
Graffiti rages residents. A string of graffiti crimes at a housing complex has some local residents wondering who did it.
I'm angry about this. I've had to phone my work. I've had to tell them I can't come in because I've been up all night cleaning.
It took less than a week for the monument recognizing Canada's fallen soldiers to be vandalized. Our Sean Macey has the story.
In the wee hours of Wednesday morning, the flowers surrounding a tribute to Canada's fallen soldiers were torn out. The memorial is just steps away from CFB Trenton. Mayor of Quinte West John Williams says he was furious when he found out.
Well, it's disgusting, and I think anybody that does this kind of stuff doesn't have much of a conscience. So, you know, we have a camera. We're looking at the camera. The OPP are dealing with it, and you know, we're going to find this person that's involved, and they'll be punished.
He says he knows exactly how he wants to deal with the person responsible.
What we should do, you know, is once we get a hold of him, is maybe put him downtown and do like they did the States, put a little board around his neck and have him stand in the middle of town and admit what he did. So that's the time of shame I think this person should have to deal with.
The Quinte West OPP are investigating the incident, and they're confident they will find the vandal.
There's going to be consequences, and with the description in the camera that we have there, it's only a matter of time before someone realizes who the person is.
Quinte West OPP say it was here where the suspect dug up 12 flowers and threw them on the ground. Trenton residents paying their respects were shocked someone would disrespect a soldier's memorial.
I mean, I can't think of any words that would express it. Just, how can somebody do that, you know?
And it's just absolutely disgusting that anybody would do that to a memorial to people that died, to keep those idiots safe.
Police are looking for a slim man around 5'10". Sean Macey, QNet News, Trenton.
It was on Saturday that the memorial was unveiled at Bain Park near CFB Trenton. Dignitaries and families of fallen soldiers from across the country were on hand for an emotional ceremony. The memorial, which is 2 years in the making, has a price tag of $1.2 million. So far, over $800,000 of that amount has been raised by private donations alone. The monument bears the names of all 158 Canadian soldiers killed in Afghanistan. Our Mark Venema was on hand Saturday and sat down with the mother of a fallen soldier who shared her story of turning tragedy into friendship.
Darlene Cushman was counting down the days to see her son return home from war. But on a summer day in 2007, she got the news she would never see him again.
When they came to my door, I saw the little flag. I knew what it was. I just come home from an 11-hour shift at work. And to see that come in the driveway, I knew. And I went into total panic.
Cushman will never forget that June day she received the heartbreaking news. The vehicle her son, Trooper Daryl Caswell, was riding in had hit a roadside bomb north of Kandahar. He had been killed in action at the age of 25.
And I begged them, and I have not shared this with the camera, I begged them to tell me my son was missing an arm or a leg.
The days that followed would be some of the toughest days of Cushman's life, but out of a tragedy bloomed a friendship.
Darlene's son, Daryl, when he was taken, I'd been in communication with him in Kandahar. We ride with the Veterans Motorcycle Organization, and when he was taken, we, as we always will, went to Darlene's side.
Trapper Kane is the co-founder and national president of CAV, the Canadian Army Veterans Motorcycle Unit. It's a group of veterans that take to two wheels in support of their comrades and families of fallen soldiers. The motorcycle connection hit close to home for Cushman.
My son, Trooper Daryl James Caswell, loved motorcycles. He loved speeding tickets, but he loved motorcycles. So I was always supposed to get my motorcycle license because we did everything together.
With the help of Trapper Kane, Cushman did what her son always wanted her to do, get her bike license. The pair hits the road as often as they can.
Do you guys see yourselves being close friends and keeping in touch for the rest of your life?
Oh yeah, every day.
Absolutely.
Every day. Every day. Don't need to buy Kindle. I get his adventures. Oh, I'm up over the mountain, see lots of sunflowers. Hopefully next year I'm going to go on big adventures.
The two reunited this weekend in Trenton at the unveiling of the Afghanistan Repatriation Memorial. The memorial, 2 years in the making, gives a place for families of the fallen soldiers to come remember them just a short distance from where their bodies were returned home to CFB Trenton. The names of all 158 soldiers who died in action, including Caswell's, are etched in granite.
I know he knows I'm proud of him. I miss him. I miss him. And if there's motorcycles in heaven, he's probably already got speeding tickets.
Exactly.
Mark Venema, QNet News, Trenton.
Some East End Belleville residents woke up Monday morning to see police outside, as well as an unwanted paint job. Renee Rogers spoke to some people who are not happy with the display.
Jose, people here want answers after waking up Monday morning to this. And apparently, it's not the first time.
Residents of 424 Bleecker Avenue had better things to do than scrub a mess.
I'm angry about this. I've had to phone my work. I've had to tell them I can't come in because I've been up all night cleaning.
Sheila Barnes' friend woke her up in the night to tell her about the damage to her car and home.
My top window was all painted blue. My mailbox is painted blue. My door was blue from the window ledge down. They've done all this wonderful structure here.
She wasn't the only one. Several other residences were also hit, and the smell of ashes still lingered in the air that morning. This woman says it's not the first time it's happened to her.
I've had garbage torn over my backyard, eggs against my window, paintballs against my window.
She thinks the attacks are targeted, some kind of retaliation against someone living there. But Barnes says she has no idea who could have done this.
I've lived here a long time, and I've never done anything to anybody this way to ever have it brought to my doorstep.
This woman, who didn't want to speak on camera, says her neighbor gave her some paint to hide the words rat and goof written on her door before her two children saw it. The meaning behind the words is a mystery to her. Hastings Housing says residents won't be responsible for paying to fix the damages, but some say that doesn't make up for everything.
That takes time out of my life with my son and everything else I need to do.
She's hoping it's the last time she'll be stuck cleaning paint from her door.
The manager of the housing complex says he'll be working closely with police as they investigate. He says the cost to fix damages to the buildings will be covered by the housing program, but they're still discussing whether or not they can help pay to fix damage to the vehicles. Renee Rogers, QNet News, Belleville.
There was an animal cruelty protest outside the Napanee courthouse this morning. Two men, charged with drowning a dog, made their first court appearance. Both have pleaded not guilty. But as April Lawrence tells us, people are calling for harsher penalties for those convicted of hurting animals.
Protesters are gathered outside the courthouse in Napanee, demanding harsher penalties for animal cruelty crimes.
Certainly what I hope as an outcome is that there will be stricter penalties against animal abuse. There has to be. There's a direct correlation between animal abuse and domestic abuse, especially violence against women and children.
This was brought on by a trial of two 18-year-old men who were accused of drowning a dog last April. This is the first day of their two-day trial.
Justice for the innocent, but when it boils right down to it, I would like to see tougher penalties and help.
Teachers from across the Quinte region were on the streets Monday to protest new legislation affecting them. Miller Reynolds was at the rally.
For months, teachers have been protesting against controversial legislation that took away their right to strike, and there's no sign they're backing down.
I think what it did was take for granted the work teachers do, and that's caused a great deal of anger. The bill has poisoned the education environment. It's created a very difficult climate in the schools.
Bill 115 was passed in September. The government froze teachers' wages and told them they couldn't hit the picket line in protest. It's all part of the McGuinty government's plans to balance the books. Laura Walton is a mother and a union rep for school board workers. She says the bill has made things very stressful.
it affects all of us. Every day, you know, we're wondering what's the next step, what's going to happen next. So it's a huge stress in it. And as a parent, I have kids that go to school, so I see it on both sides. It's a stress for everybody. It really didn't need to happen this way.
The chair of the school board wouldn't say much, except for this.
We believe that we have good relationships with our employee groups, and we plan to continue that good relationship and good working conditions for them as well.
The Union for High School Teachers says it's not over yet. Their teachers may still take job action. It won't say what action their teachers will take next week. Union leaders are still trying to negotiate with the McGuinty government. Miller Reynolds, QNet News, Belleville.
In high school sports, the Moira Trojans welcome the Aurelia Park Street Collegiate Trojans. A spot in the National Capital Bowl is on the line. The game is on now at Marianne Sills Park, and QNet reporter Austin Mackay is there live.
All eyes are at the Trojans right now, and there's less than a minute left in the OFSA playoff game to send a team to the National Capital Bowl at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. The score is 21-0 right now off of 2 rushing touchdowns, one by the quarterback Kane Brown and another 50-yard dash by number 47 Cullen McGrath. And an interception late in the second quarter brought the team down to lead to a short TD pass by number 64 Scott Scrivmore. I talked to the coaches before the game. Head coach of the Aurelia team, David Joy, said that the team must savor the moment as they may never come back here. A lot of these players are seniors as they go off to another teams. As for the Moira team, head coach Dave Corbett says that the team is focused and prepared, that they've been excited all week, and that everyone is excited to win this game. They want to go on to the next round. Both teams are undefeated, and they want to keep that record in set.
Staying with sports, the Belleville Bulls were looking to a new 20-year-old defenseman to lead them to victory against Guelph last night. Sean Macey reports from the Yardman Arena.
Jose, Jake Cardwell couldn't have dreamt up a much better start to his Bulls career, getting an assist in the first period.
I was good, a little nervous at the start, but I thought we did well. Good to get the first assist on the power play, so really excited to get moving forward.
Cardwell wore number 29 in his Belleville debut. He was picked up by the Bulls from Ottawa on Monday for 3 draft picks. But it's not easy for a young hockey player to pack up and switch cities, and even billet families mid-season.
It's definitely tough. I've done it before though, so I'm not really new of it. I've had a few billets, so I'm just kind of trying to get in the groove and get on my game.
Cardwell is known for his offensive skill, something the team desperately needs on its struggling power play, which was ranked 18th in the 20-team league going into the game against Guelph. The acquisition paid off early. The Bulls got plenty of power play chances and ended up winning the game in a shootout 2-1. Jordan Subin remained hot as once again the team counted on the second-year defenseman, and he delivered by netting the shootout winner. The Bulls' next game is Friday night in Oshawa, where they'll look to keep the wins coming. Sean Macey, QNet News, Belleville.
The Canadian Blood Services runs thousands of donor clinics across the country, but the demand for new blood is always high. That's why they made a stop at Loyalist College on Monday. QNet's Brandon White has more.
Brittany Irish is a first-year student at Loyalist College and has never donated blood before. For some people, it doesn't sound like fun, but for Brittany, you couldn't put the needle in fast enough.
I was actually pretty pumped. I was super excited. I couldn't wait to donate blood. I was legit dancing inside the gym. So I was really excited.
Some people also came to donate for personal reasons.
Family tradition, my father donated blood as often as he could when I was younger, so to me it just seems natural.
According to the Canadian Blood Services, only 4% of Canadians donate blood.
Why it's so important, the need is always there. There's no substitute for blood. So that's why it's important for people to step up to the plate, roll up their sleeve and come in, because it takes a lot of units to save lives.
There's been a great turnout today for the blood donor clinic here in the gym behind me. And in fact, there's going to be 3 more clinics coming up in the near future.
Loyalist College will be hosting another one on February 1st. Brandon White, QNet News, Loyalist College.
That's all for today. For these stories and more, check out qnetnews.ca. Thanks for watching.